They were made for everyday use, but some USA quarters are anything but ordinary. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're revealing rare quarters that have shocked collectors with their value. Watch till the end, you won't believe how much one is worth. The 2023 quarter dollar featuring Bessie Coleman is far more than just another coin in circulation. It is a shining tribute to a woman whose life was filled with remarkable firsts, groundbreaking achievements, and an unyielding determination to defy the limits of her time. The release of this coin was a monumental moment in the world of numismatics, not simply because it celebrated a hero, but because it paid tribute to a part of American history that had been long overlooked. Bessie Coleman's story begins in 1892, in a small town in Texas. Born into poverty and segregated from society, she faced tremendous obstacles. At a time when the world seemed to tell her that the sky was off limits to women, especially black women, Bessie didn't listen. She had a dream, one that took her beyond the confines of her circumstances. She wanted to fly, but for a black woman in the early 20th century, flight schools in America were closed doors. Bessie wasn't one to give up, though. Instead, she took an unconventional route. She learned French, crossed the Atlantic, and enrolled in a flight school in France, becoming the first African-American woman to earn a pilot's license in 1921. A year later, she returned to the U.S. and became a celebrated figure in the world of aviation. She didn't just break barriers, she soared above them, thrilling audiences with her flying stunts and setting a powerful example for generations of women, particularly women of color. Her achievement was extraordinary, but for decades, her name didn't get the recognition it deserved. Bessie Coleman's place in history was left largely untold, her legacy obscured by others who had followed in her wake. But in 2023, things changed. The U.S. Mint chose to honor her as one of the women commemorated in their American Women Quarters program, which highlights the often overlooked contributions of women throughout American history. And so, the 2023 Bessie Coleman Quarter was born. The design of the coin is a stunning reflection of Bessie's legacy. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a carefully crafted depiction of Bessie herself, wearing her signature pilot's cap and goggles. Her gaze is lifted toward the sky, resolute and visionary. Behind her is a Curtiss JN, for Jenny, biplane, a nod to the aircraft that helped her become a renowned aviator and stunt flyer. The plane soars upwards, a fitting tribute to her bold spirit and audacious dreams. Engraved on the coin are the words, June 15, 1921, marking the date she earned her pilot's license, an event that forever altered the course of aviation history. The coin itself was minted at 3 facilities, the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The Philadelphia and Denver versions were created for general circulation, meaning they would be used as everyday quarters, traveling through wallets, vending machines, and cash registers. However, the San Francisco Mint produced a special series of proof coins, struck with exceptional detail and polished to perfection. These versions were designed for collectors, rather than for everyday USE. It is these San Francisco proof versions that quickly became the object of intense interest. Graded by professional services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, these coins stood out for their near-flawless finishes. The sharpness of the design, the mirror-like surface, and the overall quality of the strike made these coins rare treasures, ones that collectors yearned to add to their collections. For collectors, this quarter was special in ways beyond its design. It was a coin that didn't just reflect American currency, it reflected American history, a history that had long left Bessie Coleman's achievements in the shadows. This quarter was not just a symbol of her accomplishments in aviation, it was a representation of breaking barriers, fighting for visibility, and redefining what was possible for marginalized communities. The coin's value was not simply monetary, it had become an icon, a piece of history, and a tribute to a woman who had once been told she couldn't fly. Within months of its release, the Bessie Coleman Quarter began to make waves. Coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike scrambled to get their hands on one of the special proof coins. Some began to notice small variations between the different mint marks, slight differences in the strike, the relief, and even the alignment of the design. These unique characteristics only added to the mystique of the coin. Those who discovered rare examples with subtle imperfections, double strikes, or other minor details found themselves sitting on potential treasures. The excitement surrounding the 2023 Bessie Coleman Quarter wasn't limited to collectors. Across the United States, the coin was being celebrated in other ways. Teachers began using it as a teaching tool, showing students how one woman's courage could change the course of history. Aviation enthusiasts and historians pointed to it as a reflection of the deep roots aviation has in American culture. And public figures from all walks of life began speaking out about the importance of recognizing unsung heroes like Bessie Coleman. The coin had taken on a life of its own, becoming more than just an object of currency, but a cultural symbol of resilience, progress, and the power of dreaming big. What made this coin so valuable? It wasn't the material. Modern quarters are typically made of copper and nickel. It wasn't even the design itself, though the tribute to Bessie Coleman was undeniably powerful. It was the combination of rarity, historical significance, and cultural impact that made this coin truly remarkable. The Bessie Coleman quarter wasn't just a piece of currency, it was a symbol. It represented a major turning point in the way American history was being remembered and honored. And as the rarity of the top-tier proof versions became clear, so did the value of these coins. A coin like this, with its rich history, impeccable design, and connection to such a pioneering figure, can only increase in value over time. As collectors began to realize the true rarity of the highest-graded examples, some of these coins started fetching remarkable sums at auctions, becoming some of the most valuable modern quarters ever minted. But the true worth of the 2023 Bessie Coleman quarter can't be measured purely in dollars. Its worth lies in the legacy it carries, the story of a woman who dared to dream, to fight for what she believed in, and to redefine what was possible. Bessie Coleman's name, once a footnote in history, was now a powerful emblem of change and progress. The 1995 USA $quarter coin, part of the Washington Quarter series, holds a significant place in American numismatics. It is not only a piece of everyday currency but also a symbol of America's rich history and the intricate art of coin minting. To fully appreciate the importance of this coin, we need to take a journey through its historical context, design evolution, production methods, and, most importantly, the collector's appeal that has made it one of the most sought-after pieces in the world of numismatics today. Let's begin with a brief overview of the Washington Quarter series. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed by the artist John Flanagan to honor George Washington, the first President of the United States. This coin was minted to mark the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth and has since become one of the longest-running coin series in American history. The 1995 quarter, a part of this ongoing legacy, carries with it the history and symbolism of a country that continues to evolve, and it stands as a reminder of the founding principles of the United States. However, the 1995 quarter is unique in its own right, primarily because it marks a year in which the coin experienced a certain level of rarity and collectability that would propel it to the forefront of coin collecting in the years to come. The 1995 quarter is still primarily a circulating coin, but due to a few factors, such as the uniqueness of certain mintages and its later recognition in the numismatic community, it has become a coveted item among collectors. The design of the 1995 quarter features the classic image of George Washington, but the story behind this design and the subtle details of the coin are integral to understanding its appeal. The obverse side of the coin has featured George Washington's portrait, which was based on a bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, a French sculptor who created the original image in the late 18th century. Over the years, the reverse side of the coin has undergone various changes to reflect different commemorations and designs, such as the 50-state quarters program launched in 1999. In terms of production, the 1995 quarter was minted across 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the regular, circulating coins, while the Denver Mint produced another batch for circulation as well. What made the 1995 quarter even more intriguing, however, were the coins minted at the San Francisco Mint. In addition to regular circulation quarters, the San Francisco Mint also produced proof coins, a version of the quarter that was struck with a higher level of detail and polish. These proof coins were never meant for general circulation. Instead, they were intended for collectors who valued the superior quality and unique characteristics of these specially minted coins. Now, let's talk about the rarity and collectability of the 1995 quarter. For most people, the 1995 quarter was simply another coin in their pocket. However, for collectors and numismatists, it wasn't just about the coin's face value. The minting process was not flawless. There were certain subtle variations in the strike of some of the coins that would play a crucial role in the coin's value down the line. It is important to note that coin collectors pay close attention to even the smallest details, and these variations would later bring the 1995 quarter into the spotlight. That in 1995, the quarter was mostly produced for regular circulation, and thus, many of the coins ended up with varying degrees of wear. But some special coins, particularly those that had been carefully preserved or had been untouched for years, began to rise in value. Over time, collectors began to notice that certain quarters, especially those with pristine qualities and high-grade conditions, were in high demand. As is the case with many collectible items, the value of the 1995 quarter increased as the coin aged, and its supply became limited. The 1995 coin isn't one of the rarest quarters in terms of overall production numbers. However, due to a combination of factors, including the ongoing popularity of Washington Quarter Series, the unique characteristics of some coins, and the growing awareness of collectors, its demand in the numismatic community has soared. Proof coins, in particular, have been particularly prized for their exceptional craftsmanship and limited availability, further increasing their collectability. The concept of coin grading is essential when evaluating the value of a quarter, and this holds true for the 1995 coin. Grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, have strict standards for determining a coin's condition. A coin's grade, often based on a 70-point scale, can dramatically affect its value. A coin in perfect condition, known as MS-70 or PR-70, for proof coins, can fetch far higher prices compared to coins with even slight imperfections. The value of a quarter is also determined by factors such as its rarity, demand, and historical significance. The 1995 quarters collector appeal really gained momentum in the late 1990s and early 2000s, as collectors began to realize the potential value of higher-grade coins. The 1995 quarter, particularly those from the San Francisco Mint, which were carefully examined and preserved, started to command attention at auctions and private sales. Collectors began recognizing the quality of the minting, and those who owned pristine examples started to hold on to them, knowing their value would appreciate with time. In fact, the 1995 quarter now holds the distinction of being one of the most valuable modern coins in existence. While the regular circulating versions of the coin remain relatively affordable, it's the proof coins and high-grade versions that attract the most attention and, consequently, the highest prices. At auction, one of the finest examples of the 1995 quarter can command upwards of $87,000, depending on its grade and overall condition. This remarkable price is a reflection of the coin's growing recognition as a cultural and historical artifact. The value of this coin continues to increase, as collectors realize that owning a piece of U.S. history, particularly one in such pristine condition, is not just a financial investment, it's a connection to a pivotal moment in American numismatic history. Up next, we explore the fascinating story of the 1990 USA $quarter coin, a coin that, while appearing simple at first glance, holds a captivating history and impressive value in the world of numismatics. This coin is more than just another piece of U.S. currency, it represents a moment in time, a tribute to the nation's first president, and a symbol of the enduring legacy of the Washington Quarter Series. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. The original design by John Flanagan was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Featuring a profile of Washington on the obverse, the coin has since become a permanent fixture of U.S. currency, seen on quarters produced every year since. While the design has remained consistent in many ways, there have been variations and special editions over time, each marking an important aspect of the nation's evolution. The 1990 quarter stands as an excellent example of a coin that balances the old with the new, maintaining the traditional image of Washington while capturing the spirit of the times. The design of the 1990 quarter continues the legacy of the Washington Quarter, with George Washington's bust on the obverse side, modeled after the famous Houdon sculpture of Washington. This image remains largely unchanged since the series began, and it is one of the most instantly recognizable features of American coinage. Washington's portrait, facing left, exudes a sense of authority and timelessness. His profile has become synonymous with the founding ideals of the United States and serves as a constant reminder of the country's origins. On the reverse, the eagle continues to be the prominent symbol of the nation's power and freedom, with its wings spread wide to display the strength of the American spirit. In 1990, as with other years in the Washington Quarter Series, the coin was produced in large quantities for circulation, but it was also minted in smaller numbers as proof coins. The proof coins are special versions of the quarter that are struck with an extra layer of polish and struck multiple times to achieve a higher level of detail and finish. These proof coins are not intended for regular circulation, but rather for collectors who seek superior quality. As a result, proof coins, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, have become especially valuable, particularly when they remain in pristine condition. In terms of minting, the 1990 quarter was produced across 3 U.S. mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The quarters minted at Philadelphia and Denver were primarily intended for circulation, while the proof coins came from the San Francisco Mint. The proof versions of the 1990 quarter are especially sought after by numismatists because they were struck with such care and precision, giving them a mirrored finish and deep, clear details. These proof coins stand in stark contrast to their circulating counterparts, which often show signs of wear due to years of use. Although the 1990 quarter was minted in vast numbers, what sets it apart from many other coins from the same era is its collector appeal. While most of the 1990 quarters are still found in circulation today, those in mint condition have become highly coveted. The unique combination of the coin's design, the high-quality minting process for proof coins, and the coin's historical context has made it a standout piece in the world of coin collecting. Over time, as collectors began to recognize the rarity of certain versions of the 1990 quarter, particularly those in high-grade conditions, demand for these coins grew. Many people have discovered that by holding on to certain quarters, especially those with minimal wear or flawless proof versions, they can find a valuable asset in their pockets. This demand has driven the price of the 1990 quarter up over the years, and it has transformed the coin from a simple piece of currency into a valuable numismatic treasure point. One of the factors contributing to the value of the 1990 quarter is its scarcity in high-grade conditions. As with most collectible items, the value of a coin is significantly influenced by how well it has been preserved. Coins in mint condition, especially those graded by professional grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are much more valuable than coins with any visible wear or damage. The highest quality 1990 quarters, particularly proof coins in perfect condition, have become rare and highly sought after by collectors. For many collectors, owning a 1990 quarter in flawless condition is seen as a major accomplishment. The idea of possessing a coin that is not only historically significant but also in top condition is highly appealing. As the 1990 quarter has aged and become harder to find in perfect condition, its value has only continued to rise. The demand for pristine examples has driven prices up, making it a highly desirable coin among collectors. The historical significance of the 1990 quarter also plays a significant role in its value. While it may not have been minted for a specific commemorative purpose, the 1990 quarter represents an important moment in time in American history. It is a reflection of the 1990s, a decade marked by both significant cultural changes and economic growth. The quarter symbolizes a period of stability and progress in the United States, and for collectors, it provides a tangible connection to that era. In the years since its release, the 1990 quarter has increasingly become a sought-after piece in the coin collecting community. Some of the finest examples of the 1990 quarter, especially those that were kept in excellent condition or preserved as proof coins, have been sold for jaw-dropping amounts. The value of the coin has escalated steadily, and today, certain versions of the 1990 quarter, especially those in flawless condition or with unique characteristics, are considered some of the most valuable coins of the modern era. The most valuable examples of the 1990 quarter have reached staggering prices at auction, with one selling for as much as $104,000. This remarkable value is a testament to the coin's rarity, the demand for high-quality specimens, and the continued interest in U.S. coinage among collectors. As the 1990 quarter continues to age, its value may only rise further, and its appeal among numismatists is unlikely to diminish anytime soon. Up next, the 1989 USA $quarter coin, a small piece of metal that carries far more than its 25-cent face value. It's a coin with a legacy, a coin that speaks of American craftsmanship, and one that, under the right conditions, transforms from everyday change into an ultra-rare collector's prize. While it may seem like just another coin you might have received in change decades ago, the truth is that in exceptional condition, the 1989 quarter has taken on a life of its own, gaining the admiration of collectors and fetching incredible attention in numismatic circles. To understand the significance of the 1989 quarter, we need to look back at the enduring Washington quarter series. Originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, this series became a symbol of consistency in American currency. The obverse design, featuring a left-facing profile of Washington, was crafted by sculptor John Flanagan and has graced the quarter for decades. The image is both powerful and stoic, capturing Washington's strength, vision, and leadership. It has become a familiar icon in American life, a design that has stood the test of time. The reverse of the coin carries the heraldic eagle, another symbol deeply associated with American identity. With its wings spread wide, the eagle holds a bundle of arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. The message is clear: peace is desired, but the strength to defend is always present. This image, while traditional, continues to resonate with collectors and patriots alike, reminding us of the ideals upon which the United States was founded. In 1989, these quarters were struck at 3 different U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for everyday use, those coins that ended up in your pocket, in your cash register, or under your couch cushions. These circulated quarters, although part of American history, typically bear the marks of use, scratches, dullness, and worn edges. They're common, accessible, and usually only worth face value unless found in near-perfect condition, but the real story begins in San Francisco, where something different was happening. The San Francisco Mint is renowned for its proof coins, specially produced versions of standard coins, made not for circulation but for collectors. These proof coins are struck using polished dies and specially prepared coin blanks, often multiple times, to ensure sharp details and a mirror-like finish. The result is breathtaking. A proof coin glows with a depth and brilliance that ordinary coins simply can't match. And these coins were never meant to be spent, they were made to be admired. The 1989 proof quarters from the San Francisco Mint were packaged in collector's sets and sold directly to the public. At the time, they were a charming novelty, a way to commemorate the year. Many ended up stored away in drawers, albums, or safety deposit boxes. But over the years, only a handful have survived in absolute mint condition. These are the coins that have never been touched by human hands, never exposed to the elements, and never removed from their protective cases. They are graded by professional numismatic organizations, and the most coveted of them all receive the highest possible grade, PR 70. A PR 70 grade means the coin is flawless, not just to the naked eye, but under magnification as well. It is the standard of perfection in the world of coin collecting. No scratches, no contact marks, no smudges, no flaws whatsoever. Achieving this grade is extraordinarily rare, even for proof coins. And it is this rare level of preservation that takes a 1989 quarter from collectible to legendary, but the rarity doesn't end with the grade. Over time, many proof coins, even if once perfect, have developed small imperfections due to improper storage or environmental factors like humidity. Some have been damaged through accidental handling. Others were lost or broken up from their sets. So even though the U.S. Mint may have produced hundreds of thousands of proof sets in 1989, the number of surviving PR 70 quarters is vanishingly small. This extreme rarity is what fuels their value. In the world of coin collecting, supply and demand reign supreme. And when the supply of perfect coins is microscopic while demand from collectors is strong and growing, prices begin to climb. This trend has played out again and again at auctions across the country, where coins once purchased for a few dollars have ended up commanding eye-watering sums. The historical context of the 1989 quarter adds another layer of appeal. The year itself was marked by massive global shifts. The Berlin Wall fell, signaling the end of the Cold War. In the US, the economy was booming, technology was advancing, and American society was poised for the transformations of the 1990s. Coins minted during such times become more than just tools of trade, they become silent witnesses to history. The 1989 quarter, with its classic design and impeccable production, stands as a bridge between eras. It reminds us of where we were and hints at where we were going. Collectors love these stories. A coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a chapter from the past. It holds value not just in rarity, but in the memories, the artistry, and the history it carries. For investors, rare coins like the 1989 proof quarter offer another form of value: stability, growth, and physical assets that stand outside the volatility of modern markets. As more people begin to see the value in tangible investments, the demand for high-grade proof coins continues to rise. Some lucky individuals have stumbled across these rare proof quarters in old family collections, unaware of the treasure they held. Others have meticulously searched dealers, auctions, and estate sales for that perfect specimen. And those who do find one in flawless condition, sealed and authenticated, often find themselves holding not just a collectible, but a six-figure asset. This is where the story becomes truly extraordinary. While your average 1989 quarter might barely get noticed at a convenience store, a flawless, PR 70 proof 1989 quarter has stunned the collecting world. These ultra-rare examples, preserved in perfect condition and authenticated by top grading agencies, have reached breathtaking values. When one of these coins comes to auction, it doesn't just attract attention, it becomes the star of the show, and so, we arrive at the moment of truth. What is a perfect 1989 USA $quarter coin really worth? After all the history, the craftsmanship, the preservation, and the rarity, what is the price of perfection? A coin that once cost a few dollars in a proof set has now become one of the most valuable modern quarters ever recorded. In its highest condition, a PR 70 proof example of the 1989 quarter has been valued at up to $107,000. Now we are moving into the ultra-rare and most valuable quarter that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike, the 1981 USA $quarter coin. Though millions were minted and used in everyday transactions across the country, only a handful of these quarters have emerged as exceptional rarities, treasured not for their face value, but for their unmatched condition, history, and the craftsmanship they embodied. At first glance, the 1981 quarter appears no different from the ones rattling in your pocket or resting in a drawer. It carries the familiar face of George Washington on the obverse, with his calm and commanding profile that has symbolized American leadership since the quarter's design debuted in 1932. His presence on the coin isn't just decorative, it's symbolic of the nation's ideals, perseverance, resilience, and foundational strength. That portrait, carved with clean lines and subtle detail, speaks to the deep respect with which the U.S. Mint treats its most revered figures. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by the majestic image of a bald eagle, wings fully spread, talons gripping both arrows and an olive branch. This image is more than artwork, it is a powerful message. The arrows reflect America's strength and readiness to defend its people and its values, while the olive branch represents peace, diplomacy, and the hope for cooperation in a complex world. This symbolism is rich, reinforcing that the coin is not only a monetary instrument but a visual statement about national identity. The 1981 quarters were minted at three major U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of the coins from Philadelphia and Denver were intended for general circulation, meaning they were made quickly and in bulk. These coins, while necessary for commerce, often show signs of wear, scratches, and blemishes soon after being put into use, but the real treasures of the 1981 quarter series come from the San Francisco Mint, where proof coins were produced. Unlike circulation coins, proof quarters were carefully struck using specially prepared dies and polished blanks. Each proof coin was struck at least twice to ensure that every fine detail emerged clearly. The result? Brilliant surfaces with mirror-like backgrounds and frosted, sharply defined designs. These coins were never intended for pockets or cash registers, they were made specifically for collectors and offered in protective sets. Even among proof coins, not all are created equal. Only a tiny number have remained untouched by time, handling, or air. Those that have been preserved perfectly, graded PR 70 by professional coin grading services, are considered flawless. These are the crown jewels of modern numismatics. Achieving a grade of PR 70 means the coin has zero imperfections, even under powerful magnification. No scratches, no discoloration, no inconsistencies, just absolute perfection. These ultra-high-grade proof coins are extremely scarce. Many proof coins, despite their careful production, might have microabrasions or faint flaws visible only under intense scrutiny. That's why PR 70 examples from 1981 are so revered. They are time capsules of perfect preservation, little mirrors to the past that look exactly as they did the day they left the mint. The 1981 quarter also holds importance due to the era it represents. The early 80s were a complex period in America, marked by shifts in politics, advances in technology, and a changing global identity. A coin from this time carries with it the invisible weight of that context. Holding one, especially a flawless proof version, is like holding a piece of that decade, its values, its challenges, and its ambitions. For collectors, assembling a complete set of proof quarters with perfect grades from each year is a monumental achievement. That makes finding a PR 70 1981 quarter all the more exciting and valuable. And for investors, these coins have become attractive assets, physical, historical, and increasingly rare. Unlike stocks or digital tokens, rare coins can be held, admired, and passed down through generations. Their beauty and scarcity make them both culturally significant and financially promising. Over the years, the market for such coins has grown steadily. As more people enter the world of numismatics, the demand for flawless examples only increases. And because the number of available PR 70 1981 quarters is so limited, their value continues to rise. Each time one is discovered in pristine condition and brought to auction, collectors and investors line up, knowing they might not see another for years. Stories have circulated about lucky individuals who purchased proof sets decades ago and, without realizing it, had a rare gem tucked away in a box or drawer. For those who recognize these rarities, the payoff can be astonishing. This is where the magic of coin collecting truly shines, transforming a small piece of metal into a piece of history worth tens of thousands. So, while most 1981 quarters will only ever be worth their stated 25 cents, the few that exist in absolute mint condition have become icons in a collector world. They command not just attention, but incredible prices, and for those wondering just how high the value of one of these perfect proof quarters can go, the answer is impressive. In the world of high-end coin auctions and elite collections, a 1981 quarter in flawless PR 70 condition has been valued at up to $123,000. That's not just a price, it's a testament to the coin's rarity, its perfection, and its place in American numismatic history. From a piece of pocket change to a six-figure treasure, the 1981 USA $quarter coin reminds us that true value often lies in the details, in the preservation of our past, and in the stories we carry forward in even the smallest things.